You don't have to come to events. You don't have to come to mandatory meetings. We're beyond physical attendance. We're always working on your behalf.
Today's guest is Mari Potis, the Director of Membership and Events at the Greater Scranton Chamber of Commerce, where she has been a passionate connector and community advocate since 1998. A nationally recognized chamber executive, Mari has developed and presented multiple innovative programs to national audiences. She leads membership growth, corporate sponsorships, signature events, and the Chamber's video series, All Things Chamber. Mari also created the Chamber Influencer Volunteer Program and served as NBC Universal's official liaison during the production of The Office, helping bring authentic Scranton culture to the hit TV show. A Top 25 Women in Business honoree and recipient of Association of Chamber of Commerce's Executive Lifetime Achievement Awards, Mari lives in Clark Summit with her husband Frank and their 2 children, Dominic and Gabriella.
You guys have known each other for a long time. This is one of our first times really talking about anything. I do want to thank you very much for the Chamber, for your efforts, for your team. We had our grand opening January in Clark Summit with our new Stonehouse office. It was awesome.
Yes.
Your team came in great. We had some good people show up, and just overall, just a happy event.
Yeah, no, our pleasure. That's what the Chamber does. We're there to help your business grow and succeed and celebrate your business. So whether it's you're new opening an office or you just want to celebrate, we do those celebrations all the time. And our staff and our team of influencers, Maria is one of our influencers, does a great job helping us out.
She has influenced me over the years.
Likewise.
with marketing and many other things. And she's been a great friend, and we're excited to be involved with the Chamber. Your Chamber seems really active. And there's a lot of questions I have. I don't know where you want to start. If you
Wherever.
We kind of hear about some chamber things, but we'd also, this is, as Maria loves to say, it's beyond the bottom line. Really want to hear about you. Okay. And maybe start out with your path here, but you've been here at the Chamber for
27 years.
27. That's how long I've been doing my job. So
it's kind of crazy. And I mentioned to you guys on the way up here, driving up, I was preparing for this national conference I'm speaking at on Tuesday. And I have to start my journey. So as I was reflecting and talking to myself in the car, it's interesting. And in the chamber world, nobody ever grows up and says you want to work at a Chamber of Commerce, because kids don't know what a Chamber of Commerce is unless you're one of my kids and you've grown up that life. But ironically, I took a blind job out of a newspaper, and didn't know. I fell in love with what we do. I really believe in helping people. I was in corporate America before that, traveling on the road 5 days a week, and I loved working within a community. It was really nice. I grew, and I was young, and it was a different time, and the 90s were different.
I really miss the 90s.
Yeah, the 90s are fun, but it was interesting, and the Chamber was evolving. The internet was coming into play more, and it was so different, and it was great growth for me as a person, for our chamber as an organization, and for businesses in Northeast PA. So I drank the Kool-Aid, I guess is that's what we call it. I did. I drank the Kool-Aid, believed in what we did. A lot of guys in my office lost bets on me, I'll be honest, because they were like, oh, she's going to last 3 months and 6 months. It was funny. A lot of them have retired or died since, so it's really crazy, but I just really do love what the Chamber does. And now the chambers of Northeastern Pennsylvania work together, and we're able to bring so much more to the table. We are an independent Chamber of Commerce in Scranton, the Greater Scranton community. We're not regional, we're not metro, but we do operate in a regional capacity at times, which is just overall better for the communities that we serve. So I do love that we're able to bring those opportunities.
What does that mean in a regional capacity? Meaning you go to other neighboring chambers to kind of create events?
When you're looking at Northeast PA, all of the Lackawanna, Luzerne, Wayne, Pike, Monroe, all of our surrounding Susquehanna County, all of our counties, we've had the opportunity to bring them together. So our Empower Conference, the Leadership Experience, it's a women's leadership conference every April. It is our largest signature event with over 900 in attendance. We now are in the Poconos with it, but when you bring everyone together, it's only better for the businesses that we all serve. We're all here as chambers of commerce to do the same thing, help businesses grow and succeed.
Yeah, it's great. I can say Stonehouse loves what you're doing with Empower, because we sent 5 or 6 people from our office. They all had a blast this past year. And one
Did you go?
I did not.
I know you didn't
I wasn't
go.
around. I wasn't.
His brother-in-law went.
Did
2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah, one of my
Scott,
partners. Yeah, Scott went one
Yeah.
year. Yep. I think his
Men
wife
should
presented.
go. Yeah, but
Yeah.
men should go. And we're always looking for presenters, which is great because the presenters have to come from everywhere. That's
Mhm.
what's so great. We have actually, I'm just planning the committee meeting for next year for the 2026 event. We start planning this event in August for April. But you have to pull from all over. But men should go to it because if you want to know what goes on inside our head, you want to be there.
I gave up on that 25 years ago. we did have one of our folks came, or two of our folks came from Towanda. And I can tell you that after the conference, one of our employees kept messaging me, hey, here's my notes from what I learned at Empower Conference. And then she would say these random things. Hey, one more thing I thought about. She was just very energized by it. It had a good effect. So you're doing a good thing.
It's very inspiring.
Yeah, you do want to take on the world, right?
Yeah,
like
you do.
And I'm exhausted because I'm up there for 3 days.
Yeah,
running around
and
in
I'm
sneakers.
nonstop.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it's Friday morning and I'm like, oh, okay. But I want to take on the world because you do meet incredible people at it, or you do. And I don't get to sit in all the sessions because I'm running around like a nut. But I really do get that overwhelming feeling of wow, and especially with the kids, like bringing the teens in now. Yeah. We're always evolving, or the wellness programs. Like we're all about how can we make this bigger? How can we make it better? How can we involve more businesses in it?
Yeah.
To be able to have 46 regional presenters. I'm always impressed with that. I'm like, these are amazing people within our own community that we're giving that platform to.
Yes, I was always so grateful when you asked me to be on a stage a couple times.
You were my cover girl. I'm like, Maria's going to yell at me. Stop using my picture.
I know. That was a fun year.
Yeah. So we're always, you should come back.
Yeah.
You should come back and do it.
What I love about that is I preach, I'm the OG in the office. I guess I'm always preaching about things because I look back at my 27 years and I think I see all these great things, people, things, accomplishments, clients that we've helped and how we've grown. And I think, how did this person get here? How did that person? It's all because I got out of the office. And you need to spend time in the office, but all those extra things, whether it's after hour, go to a luncheon, you're going to eat anyway, and you're probably going to surf on your computer if you sit at your desk. If you have that time, go mingle with 30 people at a luncheon, go have a conversation with somebody. And I just think all those things have just trickled into this big network of a community. Like the chamber is the oil.
Yeah, we definitely do bring those opportunities. I laugh, and you've been doing the same job for 20. When you go out with your spouse, I'm always like, if I don't introduce you, I'm not sure who it is. Because my husband's always like, does everybody know you? I'm like, yeah, everybody knows me. I'm like, I may not remember every single person. I try really hard, but you do meet so many people, and it was my job. But once I had a mindset, I pivoted and decided to embrace it. I'm like, I have to be here. This is my job. And I'm not going to stand at the registration table because that's not who I am. I'm a people person by nature.
That vibe.
Yeah. Once you start, when you're going, and it's truly amazing. Once you start talking to people, and when you look at the different opportunities that do come together, and I look at the opportunities that I'm able to create and present to businesses, and I'm looking at Maria as an influencer, and a program that I brought back three years ago. It's only 3 years. Which were the chamber ambassadors who are there to help. So it starts with people attending, like you said, getting out of the office, meeting things, and once you build, it's all relationship building. And once you get out there, because you can't teach that. This generation coming out there, oh my God, I love when I get that phone call like, hey, can I have lunch with you? I'm like, I can see about that, and I want to talk to you about who do you have here and who do you have. I'm like, oh, you want my contacts? I don't give my contacts, so I'm
surprised they call you. Versus texting.
A lot of them might be an email form too, but they, what they do, and I'm like, there's no fast track to relationship building, and I don't want somebody calling and saying, oh, Mari Potis told me I can call you. Yeah, you can call them, but don't. And then they're calling me. Like the best would be somebody walked into my husband's store. And he calls me. He's like, why did you send so-and-so down to my... I'm like, I did not send anybody.
That's a cheesy thing.
Yeah, it was real. I'm like, wow. I'm like, they really didn't know that was my husband. And I'm like, how? And so then I, of course, I didn't call them. I called their boss and been like, listen, you got a problem because that's not okay to do. That's abuse of membership.
Yeah.
But so meeting people is key. I think the relationship building you can do through the chamber is phenomenal.
Big changes shake things up, for worse, but sometimes, I dare say, for the better. A major life or business transition is the perfect time to uncover and rewire old thought patterns and help you get to your next level of success. As a success coach, I like to take my clients beyond the bottom line and help them turn uncertainty into possibility and forward momentum. If you're ready to take this time of transition and turn it into possibility, clarity, and purpose, book a call on my website at mariaconaglero.com.
Can I ask back up to the Empower conference?
Yeah.
You say 14 years ago you had the idea?
Yeah.
I'm really curious where ideas come from. And I think a lot of people have some really good ideas and then they go on with the next thing and they forget about that.
Yeah.
How did that idea pop in your head and how did you decide this is one I'm pushing through?
Yeah. So I had the idea, it was 14 years ago. I had a list of a couple of things. I knew we needed something for women. I had 9 women's network luncheons. We used to have a luncheon every month from September to May. That was a lot of luncheons. That was 9 speakers a year. It was a lot. We had an annual event. It was Ladies' Night at the Country Club. It was fun. It was a little more foo-foo kind of event. You know what I mean? Fun, beautiful,
You
fun.
have to define foo-foo.
It was more frivolous then. It was just fun. So it was really great, but I really felt we were moving into a direction where women in leadership positions we needed more direction on that. We needed more education on that. We needed to bring something to Northeast PA. And this is probably around the time shortly after Me Too happened. I'm trying to think. I probably should have had those dates before I came in here. I didn't know we were going to dive this deep.
Oh, that's okay.
But it was just something I felt personally needed. And it was like, so the first year it was like the other things on my list were like, oh yeah, okay. And Austin was the chamber president. He's okay. That's enough. Mario, go away. Because I'm very aggressive when I believe in something. And then Bob came in and it was like, there might be a little too much. We're heavy on women's events now and stuff. So then I went back the next year and I'm like, no, I really want to do this. And I don't go in with an idea blank. I already did my research. I already sourced it out to people I know in the community. I already knew what kind of money I had backing this before I went in. He said, fine. You think you can get X amount of dollars in sponsorship? Go ahead. I said, okay. And my X amount of dollars turned into 700% of X amount of dollars. Mm-hmm. It was really cool. And he got up on that stage and he said, that's it. She was right. And I was like, wow. I'm like, oh my God. And we did. We had a very successful first year. I didn't even have a seat in the room. I don't even think I gave him a seat in the room. I think I sold it because it was so oversold. Yeah. We grew out of our venue in year 1. We did keep it there for 5 years to keep it more local, but then COVID helped us get it out to Kalahari because we did need more space. You were 500-600 people. Now we have over 900 in attendance at Empower. But it's one of those things you have to, what's going on in the world? What's going on? You have to be eyes wide open. Yep. Like and this is a great lean into a brand new event we're launching right now. We had the Chamber Gala every fall. Beautiful event. And it ran for 15 years. And that was a great redesign I did, getting rid of a 38, 28, and 26-year event that were stale, old, and dead back then. Yeah. And the gala re-energized everything. And we brought in the Sage Awards and we branded all these beautiful awards. And it was great. But it was killing me. And if it's killing me, it's killing other people in the community is what I say. Right. So we got to mix it up. There's other galas people should be going to. You have to identify what's good for nonprofit organizations to be raising money. What's good for business, right? That's where I always like to look at. So it was Christine and I, and Christine Augustine. She's my vice president at the chamber, and she's worked with me for 27 years. It's like we grew up together there. So we're like left and right. We do these events together, and it was like, okay, it's time. The gala needs to retire. You know what I mean? People are going, they want to get the award, and they want to go home. So what we decided to do, we've retired the gala this year. We have pivoted some of the Sage Awards we're going to keep and give out at our annual dinner in March. And we are launching a brand new half-day event that is very needed in our business community. It's called the Edge Summit, AI for Small Business. So this is a half-day event with 7 learning labs and workshops, all on AI. It's going to be hands-on approach for that mom and pop business to whether you've never touched ChatGPT or whether you've used that, but what's your next step? Do you need to learn retrieval augmentation? Like stuff like that. I talk to people every day, and I'm talking to somebody, about their account. They're like, I really need something. I need help with AI. And so I'm like, oh my God, this is what's coming down. They're like, this is great. What day? People have already started making reservations. We haven't even announced one speaker, one topic, anything. People are buying tickets, and we're running it as a regional event. You have to have your thumb on the pulse of this community. When you talk to members every day, you know what their struggles are. You know what these businesses need. So we're always trying to bring that edge.
What I love about your events are you bring so many different members together every single time. So it might be different food or flowers or decorations or entertainment, music, photography. Like you have different member organizations coming together to create these events, and that's what makes them so different and spicy and
at
unique.
The annual dinner, what we did last year with that, I don't know if you were at the annual dinner, but how this happened is just Mari silly, right? So you're doing a dinner, and we're so focused on the content and this and that, and like the things that I don't have time for, which Maria, you're so good at this, a centerpiece. But it's okay. But it's really, do I really want to spend? I've done everything. I've done the flowers. I've done the candy things. You name it. I've done it all. And I'm like, but it's really you have the last amount of attention. Nobody's worried about that. So I'm like, wait a second. What if we have our small businesses do the centerpieces to promote their business? And it fell backwards into that 2 annual dinners ago when Art House was opening, Scranton Art House Theater, downtown Scranton. And I was like, hey, because I'm like, do you want to do the centerpiece? What do you mean? Promote it. It's new. It's opening. You're opening this weekend. And then we decided this past year, I needed 50 tables done. Like if Stonehouse wanted to be a spot, whatever you wanted to do, you didn't have to do flowers. You didn't have to do people did some really creative things. I threw it out on a 2:30 on a Friday afternoon. I'm like, how's this going to go? Gone in 10 minutes. I was like, holy cow. They went quick and they were beautiful. And it was such a great way. Some people gave gift cards or comeback thing, which is smart. You have a captive audience of 10 people at the table and you have 5 tables. So you have 50 people that are looking at your product, your company name. And so we did it and it was like, okay, this was really super successful and fun and had to be fully disposable. And I'm going to do it at Empower next year because that's obviously 90 tables. A lot more, and it's also managing that many more people coming in when you're dealing with probably a good amount of chaos at an event at that point too. But it's the right thing to do for those small businesses because the only cost to them to do it was their supplies.
Sure. It's great promo.
Yeah. Great promo. And how often do you get an opportunity like that? It's rare to get your stuff physically in front of people.
That's what we try to do with the events. I'm a huge believer. Once you join the chamber, you really don't have to spend a ton of money. Unless you want to go to a paid event that has food and drink or something like that. We have our card exchanges, 6 to 8 of those. We don't charge. A lot of other chambers charge $10, $15, $20. New member welcomes, don't charge for those. Open house, certainly don't charge for that. Webinars, seminars, we don't charge for them. We're trying to get back to those, but we're trying to find the sweet spot. And I think the deep dives are going to help us.
Yeah. I think you also bring it digitally when it comes to social media. The chamber is very active on social media, and so are you personally, which I love.
All over the place.
So you leverage your audience to then share digitally and help small businesses in that way too. So
yeah, we definitely are trying to get better, especially with me now. Like I have a microphone on my desk now with ChatGPT. I'm like, make me this. I'll have to. And we just did this incredible photo shoot, Maria, last week. And we're going to be sharing a lot of awesome content. Just making sure we have that content. But again, that's what it's about, getting it out there that we had this ribbon cutting or we're doing that. And whenever I'm on location, because some reason they make me an admin, I'm like, oh, I'll post because it makes, why not? What's it hurting? It's not hurting anything. I don't know. There's probably social media experts that be like, somebody should take that admin away from her.
It's exhausting, isn't it? The amount of stuff you have to do to keep up with that.
I was going to say, this is beyond the bottom line. So I kind of want to talk about your energy. You're a high energy person.
I know.
But how do you refill? Because I know you're at ribbon cuttings and open houses and business card exchanges, and you're in the office, and you're visiting people, and you're doing influencer things, and these events. Like, you're physically everywhere.
Yeah, I'm like Spider-Man.
Yeah, but how? How do you fill your cup?
I think it comes from, honestly, satisfaction. I always want to be giving more to the businesses, to the community. to the members. Again, I drank that Kool-Aid so long ago. It goes to who I am as a person. Kids have never known anything other than Chamber of Commerce. Like, Mommy, why can't we go eat there? I'm like, because they're not Chamber members. We don't go there. Which makes my husband 17 levels of crazy. And it's a double-edged sword. You're very fortunate when you're in my position. But I just love to see when I could see the influencers come together to support one another personally, professionally, whatever it might be. It tells me I'm doing something right. I'm making a difference somewhere. It may not seem like a lot, but when I see a business growing because we did an article on them or something, and they come to me and I know when somebody's struggling and they're like, people confide in me. We always joke that Mari has the sign on her head, tell me anything, because people tell me everything, which is wild. And it's so funny, but I'm like, okay. And I'll go back and I'll be like, okay, Chris and I'll talk. I'll be like, okay, this is going on here. What can we do? Let's do an article for them, or let's throw a social post out or something like that. And it's the little things that people do. And honestly, you say cup full. I have a cup. I have my little, and I was just showing one of our new staff it yesterday. I have this crazy cup and I put all my little note cards. People send me a lot of different note cards, thank you cards, stuff like that. I put them in there. And sometimes when I'm like, God, are we doing the right? I have to read through some
That's
of
a
them.
great
Oh, I
idea.
love that.
It really is. It's just, and yesterday I pulled one out random and it was from, I date them. So it was like 5 years ago. It's pretty full. It's a very full cup. I got to be honest. But you know what? It's like one of those things that it's like, that was the right thing. And sometimes I read through it and it inspires me on something new, because you forget sometimes an idea or a thought or something you had done. And it's like a little reminder. And I do, like when I was like, I don't even know who, I'm like, oh my God, this was one of the first teens that came to Empower. One of them when we were doing a pilot program. And I was like, okay, it made a difference. You know what I mean? It made a difference. And if I can empower one young girl to whatever, change her direction or know that she's worth it, should be continuing on the path she's doing. That's where, okay, I can do this. It's that satisfaction. I really just need that. I really do get a tremendous amount of satisfaction from the work that we do. And when I see the members happy, and when a member's not happy, I have to make them happy. I'm just one of those people. So how do we bring it?
Yeah.
That's a really interesting, the perspective of a 20-something-year-old or a 30-year-old starting a business, and you talk to them about something 10 years out. It seems like a lifetime away, right, when you're 30. But when you're in the business 27 years, you've actually seen the positive effects. And 10 years ago seems like yesterday.
And they don't realize how many people, especially young people, you mentioned young people, when we reach out, Tina does all my scheduling. And when she's, they don't, and they're young and they're new and all they need is their Facebook or their Instagram page, and that's good. And then 3 years later they call or 5 years later and they're like, they matured a little bit and they realize what a Chamber of Commerce is. And a lot of people don't understand when a Chamber of Commerce, when they started, I don't know, ours started in 1867, but what they were there for. They were there to help businesses. We do so much more than just have great events and help. Beyond help businesses, we're advocating, we're working with government officials, we're doing workforce development, we're doing economic development, things like that. People don't realize it. And so when they're super young, and then all of a sudden they're like, maybe I need to be doing that. Or I love when they ask me, hey, can you put this on your website? I'm like, oh, you're not a member. I'm like, and I know because we have very good notes in our system that they're snarky or something like years before. And I'm like, no, let's sit down and talk. I want you to fully understand. Because I'll also tell somebody when I meet with them with joining the chamber, I'm like, now, the Chamber of Commerce isn't for everybody. You know what I mean? If you don't think you don't have to come to events. You don't have to come to mandatory meetings. We're beyond physical attendance. We're always working on your behalf. And that is an understanding. That's a state of mind that you have to get that paradigm shift with people to say they're always working. They're the ones that are advocating for the hospitals down Scranton. They're advocating for Penn State Scranton to stay open. They're advocating for Amtrak, things like that, or bringing these companies to our area and doing all these events to help me grow or getting me out there in momentum. We're always working, whether you're physically attending something or not. And a lot of people, especially young people, they don't understand that's what a business organization is supposed to be doing for you. And we're always doing it. So yeah, I do get them, and they turn around, and it's interesting when they join, and we always want to engage them. And we have safeguards in place to make sure we have multiple touches through the year on those, especially those new members, making sure they're seeing that. The influencers reach out to them shortly after they join. We have staff that reach out to them for our office, call them, make sure they're up to date on everything. But getting that mind shift of what a chamber of commerce is so important. And it's hard because a lot of people, they just, I'm going to join, they want it transactional.
Oh, yeah. I was just going to ask you that. A lot of people that I know, it has nothing to do with Scranton Chamber in particular, just in general. Like, why would I join? They've been in their own world, their own funnel, and they pick their head up. And if I'm in a meeting and I say, are you a member of the chamber? I don't understand what I get for that. I pay a membership and then my name goes on a list, but I don't think I'll see any business. And they signed up for a year maybe, and they don't get anything where they think from the business, so they just stop. They didn't engage. They didn't do anything. There's no communication. They probably deleted newsletters that came. It's like you get what you put in, right? And so how would someone like that, Mari, like what's a way for somebody who says, I'll do this for the first time? What more should they do just than fill out an application?
Well, you shouldn't just join just to say. People want to join just to say, I'm a member of the chamber, because it validates their business a little bit, right?
Yep, sure.
Oh, we're not a reporting agency or anything like that, but I'm a member of the Chamber of Commerce. It makes them, Chamber of Commerce, there's stature behind it, of course. It makes a business sound a little bit more sound and solid, but we want it interactional, not just transactional. I love that. I learned that at Disney Institute years ago. One of my favorite takeaways from it. So we want them, again, that's why we're going to reach out to them, but they should be logging in. We send them the plaque. We still send a physical directory, which we retired also this year because it had to go. But we also launched a whole new slew of advertising opportunities. That's another story. But we want them to log in. We want them to understand you need to hire somebody. You have a free job board at your disposal there, completely free. I want you to log in because you know what? I don't know if you've checked your referrals lately, but everybody should check their referrals because when people tell me they got nothing, that's the first thing I pull up on their account. I'll be like, you do know you got 922 referrals. They're like, what? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, and you didn't even add one social site. You didn't even put your logo up. Yesterday, I was talking with the man, and he's like, Mar, I got to pay this. What do I got to do? Look at my account. I'm like, you need to log in and update your portal. I'm like, everything is online now. People are searching. You search some companies. A lot of times, Chamber of Commerce is one of the top things that are coming up in these search engines, that they're a member of the chamber. So it's going to their listing. Your logo's not on your list. I don't know if yours is. I'm not pointing at you. If the logo's not there, people are seeing that. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? If you don't have keywords in your search, you don't have description, it's not in your profile. Everything like that. Are you adding employees? You might be too busy. You might be on vacation. You might be out of the country. You're not checking emails. But XYZ in the office might be checking emails, be like, oh, I want to go to that. You know what I mean? They might be seeing things come in.
Sure.
Once you're a member of the Chamber of Commerce, all your employees are members of the Chamber of Commerce. They should be engaged too. So a lot of times the principal of a company may not want to go to events or may not want, but when you have those new people coming in who need to be getting out of the office, who need to be interacting with people, making sure they have that information. That is probably one of the number one problems that we do have, is making sure people know. And that's why our influencers reach out. That is why our staff in our office reach out to make sure they're loading them up. This year, we've been borrowing the Wilkes-Barre Chamber of the Greater Wyoming Valley.
GWV.
They changed their name. Like for 20-some years, they were Wilkes-Barre, but the Greater Wyoming Valley Chamber of Commerce. And again, this is why when you work so well together with your neighboring chamber, we needed that. Like we lend them Empower, they lend us this. So it's really a cool deal that we were able to borrow their Young Professionals program. So they're going to get one together again this year for the Greater Scranton area, but getting the communication of making sure people understand once they join the chamber, all of their employees are members. But getting back to your original question, what they don't need, they don't know what they don't know about the chamber until they learn it and they experience it. And I think getting people, it's a different world. It's a different chamber. I've seen the changes. I know the changes I've been through at the chamber. We always want to stay on top of what's the trend. I don't want to be your grandfather's Chamber of Commerce.
So as your wealth builds, so does the amount of pressure that surrounds you, right? Maybe your income is still higher than ever and your business has more revenue than ever, but you're also thinking about your family, your employees and their families, debts that you need to pay off, taxes that you want to minimize, cash flows to track, all while trying to stay excellent at your job and innovative within your industry. Our team at Stonehouse helps you manage your personal wealth, whether it's in your retirement plan, your business, or any other place. While you're busy out there conquering the world and trying to take care of others, don't forget about taking care of yourself. Contact Stonehouse to see how we can help make your life better. My next question was chamber. With 27 years in, you've seen changes, right? And even before that, there were many changes, right? So I feel like the chamber used to be traditionally, let's say 20 years ago, about getting business owners and leadership all in the same room, get them talking, get them aware that over there is another business that I could use that matches what I need for my company. So get them working together. Again, being the oil, greasing the wheels of the economy locally. But when you're talking about, what I love the AI idea, right? And we'd be crazy not to try to help folks do that. But some, if not a lot of the AI teaches you how to do it yourself or do it through a software program that has nothing to do. It almost has a reverse effect in that you become less social, less needy of those two other businesses in your community because you can do it here. And so this isn't a Scranton chamber issue. It's just chambers in general. How do you address that? And maybe it's not a trend. Maybe it's just me overthinking. I do have a tendency to overthink.
You do?
Part of my job is
kidding.
to try to get out
Yeah.
ahead of things,
Yeah.
but sometimes I overthink it. I'm just curious, has your board or have you thought about that? And is this like another thing that you want to tackle? And if you don't have any, I'm not expecting the right answer. I'm just wondering, have you had thoughts about that? Or
I don't think it's going to make people less social. In the end, again, with the AI's here. It's
Sure.
going to help. It's helping people. I know what it does
Yes.
for me. Honestly, probably a couple months I've been using it, but it makes us more efficient. But you still need to work. There's still things you're going to need to work with other businesses for, and you're still going to need to do business with other businesses. It's not that. It's helping people work smarter, not harder. And that's what it's going to be. And it's also going to introduce you now to more businesses because you could teach yourself X, Y, and Z, but what about A, B, and C? You need to start somewhere. And some of these experts, people don't realize, you could put a ton of stuff into chat and have it noodle it down into this beautiful whatever widget you want it to be coming out. But in the end, did you watch your cybersecurity when you were doing all that stuff in there? Were you putting in proprietary information? Were you putting in financial? People don't even think, like, you copy, you paste, you do, and then all of a sudden, boom, like
it's out there.
It's out there.
Yep.
And you didn't even realize because now you just added it to the world's brain.
Yep.
So yeah, it's one of those. That's where learning about that retrieval augmentation, I want to learn more about that. And just things like that we're learning. I don't think it's going to make the world less social. I think it's going to, it has me talking so much more to people because clearly I could talk until the dogs come home. But people when I'm talking to people, I'm like, I can't believe, and it's so funny. Yesterday I'm talking to this girl and it was a computer company and it was a young girl, her dad's company, and she's interning there and stuff. And I think I had her email out within a minute and a half of our phone call ending. But because I right into my microphone, follow up and kicks it out. And she sent back, I love it. You use ChatGPT. And I'm like, I really did. But it was like but it was exactly what I needed. It just made me so much more efficient where if I took another phone call on this, and I might not have got that email out till later. I closed up that call within 10 minutes between the call being made and the follow-up email that I needed to send. So it made me more efficient. But her and I wound up being on the phone. The whole 10 minutes we were on the phone. It was just, I had to call her about something, straightening out a misstep from a former employee of theirs. And it wound up being a great conversation all about the Edge Summit coming down and AI, and it was so electric that I made this amazing connection with this young lady. And I feel like I know so much about their company in 10 minutes. It was great. So I feel like an AI summit, it's an event. And then she kind of laughed because I used AI. So I think the more people, because when you talk to somebody, everybody has an aha moment. Oh my God, I did this the other day. Mm-hmm. And they're like, whoa, what? And I'm like, yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, I don't want to give you the impression that my question was around like, are you bringing in a bad habit and introducing it? That is here to stay, and I agree with you 100%. I loved your answer. I hope that's how it happens. I guess I'm so OG anymore. I've turned into my father. But I go to restaurants and I look around and I'm just stunned. I'll see a 5 or 6 20-year-olds sitting at a booth, And they're all not talking.
They're on their
and I know they're not
hate
texting
it.
each other. That would be weird,
No.
but they're just sitting there
They're
watching.
checking their snaps and all their other.
And I don't fault them for that. That's what they grew up doing. I get our society has a long history of going a little too far on things and then pulling back. And sometimes it gets pulled back a lot. And I hope that the snap back on when I look at a lot of positive things in my life, almost all of them, as I mentioned earlier, happen from social interaction, just like this. Even if we did this on a Zoom call or something, it really wouldn't feel the same.
No,
I agree.
It's different.
I love
agree.
sitting here and talking to you.
No.
No, it's super fun.
And so the idea that the chambers, that's what the chamber's about.
Yeah, it really is to get
out.
out there. Like, we will always have an annual dinner. I don't see Empower going anywhere anytime soon, although it might expand into something else because the guys keep saying, Mar, where's the guys conference? I'm like, it's coming. I keep telling them it's coming. But I think it's the chamber. That's our core. You know what I mean? We bring people together and, again, serving the community to help those businesses grow and succeed. But you're 100% right when it comes to...
Stop right there.
What?
That's the end of the podcast. Right there.
you need to snap that one for your wife. I know. But you know what? I want to just touch on that because something remarkable happened that I think people can help their young people with, like their kids. And I did this with my son is 20, our son is 21, our daughter is 18. And my daughter is just like me. She's very outgoing, could talk to walls, get answers. She's great like that. Dominic, on the other hand, was very introverted. He's a gamer, that kind of thing. And we worried, oh my God, because this is his people. They're all in their headsets. That's his people. And what was amazing to change that was putting him around people. And we're a Starbucks family. I'll just go with that. And you know what? It's amazing. When you put a kid in a position where they're forced to interact as part of their job, changed like people, oh my God, like his friends are even like, oh, he's our leader. He's hysterical. And I'm like, same kid? Are we serious? But it's so amazing when you force that interaction and you take those, like we've always had rules, like no cell phones at the table. We're always a dinner at night kind of family. But it's so amazing. Don't go in a restaurant. God help them if they take a cell phone out the table. Like it's game over. Yeah. But like literally forcing that interaction and they see it. Marie, I think you've met Gabby.
Yeah.
She's been coming to chamber events for years.
Yeah.
Because I'm coming. Like, I put her in a shadowing and I'm coming to your dinner tomorrow night. And I'm like, I stuck her in the coat room, make her work. And it's so funny because so many people know her. But she's, again, one of those, she has that natural where son didn't. And he didn't get it until we didn't allow him, but put him in a position where he did talk to people. And it
just came out of his shell.
It changed. And I know other people that have done that too. Get them a job in retail, which I think every kid should work retail to truly understand torture.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I'm just speaking from my Kmart days, Marie. You might be too young to know Kmart. I remember Kmart. But I think it does. But it gives them that interaction and all of a sudden a different confidence, and it changes them a lot. But they need that when they get into the business world, because when you're in the business world, there is nothing worse than when you're getting interns and did you call so? No. I'm like, they're like, I emailed them. I'm like, no, you were supposed to call them, like pick up the telephone. And we've had staff that it was like, this is a couple of years ago, like you have to force it. And it's like, why is this so hard to force? I don't get it because I don't think been shy a day in my life. I'm not sure, but you pick up the phone, you call somebody, you talk to them. Email, email is normal now, but texting, we have an intern right now and I'm like, oh, here, you know what? I'm like, just text him. Say, Mari said I could text you because she wasn't getting a response. I said, he's better at text. She's like, okay, no problem. But I called him twice. I'm like, oh, I love this one. I'm like, she's great. But to get that forced interaction, young people, it's hard. I think the retail world helps them.
I will say, from a business owner's perspective, I've had a lot of value from the chamber. But I won't just say the chamber, just the social interactions.
Good.
One of the things I think maybe goes unstated is the fact that when I first started in this business 27 years ago, like anybody who wasn't me was my competitor. Like, oh, don't talk to them or them, talk to me, right?
Different minds.
Now, as Stonehouse, I just view people as peers. And there's a lot of folks in my financial industry I love talking to. I just had lunch with a very good friend of mine, technically on paper competitor. I love the guy, and hopefully he feels the same way. I come out of every one of those conversations with, oh, That's interesting what he's doing. Like, we haven't thought about that. I wonder if that would work in my business, vice versa. And I think a lot of what we've built, Stonehouse, is built from other people's ideas. We do it a little differently, or we do the same thing, or we've thrown it out because it didn't work. But I wouldn't have had those ideas if I didn't get out and share those conversations. And I just feel like it's much more of a community in today's world. There's so much work, and there's a lot less people who are good at what they're supposed to be doing.
You're 100% right. Because
I
back in
love
the
this.
I did it again. Oh my God. Okay, your wife owes me $20.
There's 2 sound bites that are coming out of this.
Right. But it's so true, because in 1998, when I started the chamber, it was like butting heads. Chambers didn't necessarily, we pretended, it was like almost pretend getting along. And it was, it was like, who's bigger, who's better? There was like a brick wall on 81. Like, it was crazy. And I see that in the chamber world now. Like, we all, again, play nice in my sandbox or get out of my sandbox. Like, I don't have, no, you're not going to be the only XYZ media company part of Empower. They're in it too. You don't like that? I'm sorry. This is how we work. And when it comes to common businesses, being part of things like whether it's the influencers program or, oh my gosh, when it's a table at Empower, I'm like, you're not the only clothing store in town. Congratulations. But no. But I always had all this real estate. I'm like, it's different. Things are changing. If you don't like what we're gifting you, we could gift it to someone else. It's one of those things, like, and it is a mindset. But I have seen people, I tell them, don't butt heads. You know what? They could be a great ally. And I remember saying that years ago, right around when the gala started. And so 15 years ago, I remember saying that. I'm like, it was designers. And I'm like, one wanted to be the only designer. Now, like, not graphic designer, physical event logistics designer with me. And I'm like, no, I'm bringing 2 members into this. And there was like, the one was having a little tiff over it. And I'm like, they could be an ally. And they got past their little hissy fit and moved on. And guess what? They became allies.
Yeah.
Wow.
So when this one couldn't deliver, they gave the referral, it over, and they became a great resource for each other. And people don't realize that, whether it's an idea. And that's what we do now, like with the chambers, the other chambers. It's, hey, we get together as chambers of commerce. We'll go to lunch or something like that and talk through, hey, what are you guys doing? What are you guys doing? Bring it together. That's what I'm doing on Tuesday. I'm going to present at a national conference on what we're doing in Scranton and with Empower. That's exactly what I'm presenting, and our volunteer program to help other chambers. It's borrowing. If you're not borrowing ideas and thoughts and realizing where you need to be, because sometimes it's not your events necessarily. Sometimes it's your staff. Are your staff bringing it out? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if everybody has the crazy energy I do.
So my last big question for you, is if there was a chamber genie.
Oh boy.
Oh.
And you got 3 wishes. What would that be? What would those wishes be?
Probably my first wish. This is something I saw at a national conference many years ago, probably like 20 years ago. I wish every business could be a chamber of commerce. And one community actually did that. Every business, they did away with their fees. And every business was a chamber of commerce member. And they sourced the money in other ways, right? Obviously sponsorships and things like that. But they were much smaller chamber than we are, in a good sized community that they were able to do it. I would love for businesses to be able to experience the benefits. That's really, I would love for every member of the community where people, I feel so bad when I know somebody can't afford it and things like that. And I try to make a membership happen. But that would definitely be one for all businesses to be a member for free and experience the benefits of membership, because I think people would really have a different opinion. We have such great resources at the chamber. I want to say resources, but I know we have 26 staff, full-time staff. We're very blessed. We're a very large chamber for an independent chamber of commerce. Most chambers our size are usually regional or metro chamber of commerce. So we're very blessed to be the size that we are and have the resources, but there's always more resources needed, and that's where it comes from the members. You know what I mean? I think our members bring those resources. So I would like more resources, which would lead to the more members.
There you go.
And third,
just a full disclosure while you're thinking, there is no such genie in the room.
there is no genie.
It's like a nice wish list, though.
Yeah, it really, I just really wish there was a way for us to truly even promote our members just even more free than we do. You know what I mean? We still have budgets and we still have to meet goals and stuff like that. But in the end, I'm always out there. I wish our members would reach out more to us. You know what I mean? Like we try to, it's crazy because I feel like I never stop. I'm working day and night. Like I'll be flipping through Reels or flipping through Facebook or something, and I'm tagging Tina, and I'm like, did you get all my tags last night? And she's, oh my God. Because I saw somebody celebrating an anniversary or this place opened or that place opened. And we want to make sure that we're reaching out if it's somebody's anniversary, if somebody got an award or something like that from their industry awards, they forget to send it to us and let us be part of it.
So are you always on?
I am.
Yeah.
I am. It's hard to shut it down. It really, ask if you want to know the truth, ask my husband. He'll be like, she's always on. I'm like, no parties.
Most people think of like small business owner. They don't think of someone who's trying to run a chamber of commerce. But you are essentially running a small business for sure.
We are. We're running
a small business of small businesses.
It is. It's a small business of small businesses.
You're like a mutual fund of Scranton.
Oh God, really? Can I get paid more money for that?
Oh no, I didn't say that.
It literally is. That's what we're doing there. We're running that business to help businesses. So we're running a business of businesses because we're, especially our chamber being as multifaceted as we are, we're not just your typical chamber of commerce doing the events and some programming and stuff like that. We have all those other components and boards and a lot going on, advocacy, I'm running out of words here talking, but it just never stops. The chamber day, it's so great. When you look at our program of work, it's this ridiculous blueprint that most people would be like, forget it, I'm out. You look at it and we just started our new fiscal year in July. And so we just got done doing it. And you look at it and it's all of this amazing work we're going to do over the next 12 months. And we'll be a little bit into it. And then you get a crazy email, you get a phone call like, hey, can you guys do an office convention next year? Can you guys do this convention? Or can you do, and like we're pulled into something, you know what I mean? So there's always a pivot or a pandemic happens. When you're like, where does the Chamber of Commerce fit into that? You work harder than you ever did in your entire life was the answer on that from home. It was like businesses needed a place to go.
Yeah.
Who's going to teach them about PPP, PPE? I don't even remember all the acronyms. I want to forget them forever. But
I know.
You become that and you figure out how to do Zoom calls for 1,000 people or how to do a Zoom annual dinner. Oh my God. I was like the first in the country to have to do an annual dinner over Zoom. It was like the nuttiest thing. And dueling pianos that year. That was fun. So there's always... Chamber world it's never ending. It's always changing, and you just got to stay on top of it and be there to provide the programs and services to help our businesses grow and succeed.
You know what I think is really unique about it is you have the perspective of huge companies. Like there's some huge companies in our area. So you get to see how they're run, see what their problems are, see what they're learning in this world, and then bring it to the mom and pops and everything in between. So you're able to see all those different perspectives of many different shapes and sizes of businesses, and then use that knowledge to support others.
Yep. So absolutely.
How many people get to see behind the scenes of that much variety of business?
No, it's really eye-opening. I think from being an influencer,
there are businesses in this
huge.
Area, enormous, that I never would have known.
People don't know. That's why I could have a meeting at the chamber every month for the influencers, but I'm like, let's go on tour. I'm like, nobody wants to hear Mari talk for an hour. Well, you just did. So I'm like, but seriously, like we go out to these cool companies and let's learn about what's right here. And we do learn these really neat things. I'm always like, oh, I know what they do. I get in there and I'm like, wow.
What? I know.
It's
global organizations right here in our backyard.
Yeah. So it's cool.
So I really appreciate you taking time.
Well, my pleasure. Thank you for having me. It's always fun to talk about the chamber world. And I think we explored a little bit further and deeper than I usually do on some of these podcasts. So thank you.
Oh, absolutely.
That's a wrap on today's episode of Beyond the Bottom Line. Thank you for listening. If this conversation sparked something for you, please let us know. Follow, share, or leave a review. It helps us keep having the conversations we love that you love to listen to. We'll be back in 2 weeks with more real talk from real leaders. Until then, here's to feeling successful beyond the bottom line.